Hi, sisters and friends and bookkeeping mamas. It's Trevonna Parker here with Bookkeeping Mama, Bookkeeping Advocate. Of course, you know that I am a bookkeeping mama and I aim to be your bookkeeping advocate. I want to help you on this journey of understanding more about bookkeeping and also QuickBooks. As you can see by the screen, today is going to be some bookkeeping mama training. And today I want to talk to you guys about something in QuickBooks that I think is going to help you to help your clients a little bit better. I don't know how to get this thing off my screen. Hopefully it's not there when you guys are watching the video, but nonetheless, let's go ahead. We're going to talk about the difference between a sales receipt and a received payment in QuickBooks. So what I want to do is, you guys see I'm in the dashboard, my own personal dashboard. This is the dashboard that I'll see if I had clients added in here. I'll see all of my clients listed here. I'll be able to go to the drop down that would be right here, and I'll be able to go ahead and see my clients. Anyway, we're not going to deal with all of that. What I'm going to go over here and do is go to this big gear and go to this sample company. When I go to the sample company, it's going to log me out of my own company, and I get to play around in QuickBooks. It's a testing ground, a nice little place for us to play. And it's going to take us to Craig's landscaping, design and landscaping services. And so what I want to do is just show you guys the difference between a sales receipt and a received payment and why it's important. So we're going to be hitting three things. We're going to go over here to Plus New, and in Plus New, we're going to look at received payment, sales receipt, and bank deposit. If you guys hear any noise in the background, it's because I have my children right here playing a little game. Just wanted to get in here and give you guys this quick video, and then we will be out. As you guys know, we are a safe place for Christian moms to understand bookkeeping and how it's beneficial for their family, not just for this generation, for the generations to come. And so I want to give you guys the tips as I learned them. The reason I'm talking about this is because I was doing a bookkeeping cleanup, and I do see lots of duplicated transactions, and I want to show you guys a way to help to train your clients on what they should be doing to avoid some of this. So we're going to start over here. We're going to go to receive payment. I don't know what this is. I didn't try to add a bookmark. I wanted to go over here to Plus New to receive payment. As I go to receive payment, there are a few things you're going to notice. You're going to see choose a customer, payment date, choose payment method, reference number, find by invoice, and this is really key right here, find by invoice, and also something else you're going to see here is customer balance. That's extremely important. You get down here to the payment method, you get to choose whatever you put in here. You can add new, which means you can add PayPal, Venmo, Zelle, anything in there. You can put your reference number in there. Deposit to, we want to always make this undeposited funds. It is very important for this to be undeposited funds. And we'll talk about why in just a moment. You want to put your memo. If you have any notes, you want to put some notes in here, who paid you, why they paid you, maybe the last four of their credit card. I don't know, just a lot of information can go here to be beneficial for you as a bookkeeper and also for your clients later. And then also there's the attachment box. You can attach an image of the check. You can attach any details, any form that you had them fill out, anything there, you can attach it. That's for your references, or your clients' references, and you can kind of coach them on what to do here. Over here is the amount received. Now we're going to go back just because we don't know what invoices we're going to look for. Let's see. We're going to go to sales. We're going to go to invoices. Let's see. I see Freeman's Sporting Goods. I don't want that one. That's a little too low. I want something a little higher. So let's go down. Oh, everything's paid down there. Okay, let's go over here. We see Freeman's Sporting Goods. I want to show you guys something. If you go to receive a payment, I can go to Freeman. Now, I can go to Freeman Sporting Goods, and watch what's going to happen when I click this. Freeman Sporting Goods payment doesn't have an open invoice to go with it. Now, we just saw a payment, an invoice to go with it. So let's see what's going on. Let's close it out. Oh, here we go. Freeman Sporting Goods, 55 Twin Lanes. Let's go ahead and try that again. So Freeman's is broken down in QuickBooks on two locations. So there we go. Now we see this invoice number 1036. And we're going to keep an eye on this because, now wait a minute. Oh, I went the wrong one. I went to Ocean View Road and I wanted to go to Twin Lane. So let's get that. So we have $85. That's actually two invoices. So that's even better. We see that the original amount for invoice 1028 was $81, and the original amount for invoice 1005 was $54, and now we're at a balance of $81. Obviously, there was a payment made. Oh, well, no payment made here, and obviously there was a $50 payment made here. So what we're going to do is we're going to choose our payment method. Let's just say that they paid us in cash. We don't have a reference number. This is going to undeposited funds. This is very, very, very important. And it will go to undeposited funds no matter how we paid. We'd like to sometimes think that if we use a credit card, we don't have to put it to undeposited funds because the funds will get there quickly. Always send it to undeposited funds. So we're going to tie this to the first invoice. We're going to say that they're paying it on, well, yeah, they're paying it on, they're trying to pay this down. They're only going to pay $20 here. So they're paying $20 on this invoice. And you see how when I put it up there to amount received, it changed it down here as well. So we're going to go ahead and save and close. And what we'll see now is that right here we have this, where did it go? We had $81 and now we only, it's partially paid and we have $61 left. But we also have this one that came up and we're not, we haven't touched this one at all. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna address two things at once. We're gonna go back to plus new receive payment because we're working with invoices. We're gonna choose our customer. Actually, what I meant to do is, suppose we didn't know the customer, we're gonna find the invoice. What was it, 1005? All right, so we typed in 1005 and it brought up the 1005, of course, and it already has the 1005 highlighted. So let's just suppose we pull this up and our customer says, oh, and we say to our customer, we have something on another invoice as well. Let's go ahead and put some money on. Do you want to put some money on there? And they say, well, I only have about $10. So let me go ahead and put $6 on the other invoice. So our amount received is $10. The payment is $6 for one invoice. We're going to pay this entire invoice off. Again, it goes to undeposited funds. We're going to say it's cash again. It doesn't really matter. It's going to be cash. It's going to go to undeposited funds. What I wanted to show you is you can either find it by the customer or you can find it by the invoice. And once it's in here, you can play around with it and do all types of things. So now we make a $10 payment. We're going to save and close. All right, so now you'll see that this is at $55 for the Twin Lane. The outstanding invoice that started at $81. However, the other invoice that started at $54 is now completely paid. And there's nothing that says unapplied. That means that there's no possibility of it being a duplicated transaction. So let's go ahead and look at the last way that I wanted to show you where you can get into here. If we're looking at the customer on the invoices, we're in the invoices tab in the sales center. You can go ahead and just go to receive payment. And that already highlights the invoice. There's no searching or anything. You can go ahead and make the payment via cash, whatever you want to do. As a matter of fact, let's just show you that it can be whatever you want to do. We're going to do a Visa payment, undeposited funds. And this time we are going to pay $35 here. And that will populate down here. Save and close. I want to eat that. And here we go. Now we have $20 due on a balance that started at $81. So that's how you operate when you do a sales receipt. If you don't go in and do a sales receipt, it won't match to this outstanding accounts receivable, this invoice. And then when it comes into the bank, you'll have these temptation to, let me just show you a bank transaction. You'll have the temptation to, if you see this come through the bank, it won't match to an outstanding payment. And it or if you're making a deposit at the bank, you will put it in as a deposit and it won't go through, and you add it and it'll duplicate your transaction because you have it added as a payment in the invoice, and you also have it added as an entry into the bank account. So let's go ahead and take a look at sales receipt. Now, a sales receipt is what you want to use when your client comes in and they just pay you. There's no invoice tied to it. For example, you have some people who may have something that's invoiced like a major service, like medical service, but then the clients can also purchase maybe some vitamins, or the clients can purchase some supplement, so reading material or something along those lines, and that's not tied to an invoice. You're just taking the money right away. So at this point, we're going to just choose a customer. We're in our sample company, so we're just going to choose Amy's Bird Sanctuary. As you can see, it auto-populated with the information that we had already put in for this customer. If I wanted to do a tag, I can go ahead and put a tag in there so I can easily find these transactions. And then I would choose my payment method. For here, we'll just choose cash. Again, it goes to undeposited funds, always undeposited funds, and we'll see why in just a moment. So I go to my product or services. Let's just say Amy's getting some design, custom design, it auto-populated. I want you to see that it doesn't always auto-populate. So for example, I put concrete in there. It doesn't auto-populate. I have to put in there the quantity, the rate, and whatnot. As you can see, this one came up as sales tax. I'm going to delete that. Well, let me put the money, the amount in there, just say $30. All right, now I'm going to remove the sales tax. So it's just $30. It was sales tax down there for the California rate. If you're doing sales tax, you can put that in there. All this information is here. You have the option to save and send. That's why you get to put that information in there, because you get to communicate with your client, but we're not focusing on that right now. We're going to save and close. Remember, it went to undeposited funds. So let's just say we have all these checks, we have all this cash, and the reason it goes to undeposited funds is because we don't know when we're going to put it inside of the bank. As you guys know on this channel, you always hear me say, Lord willing. We do not know what tomorrow's going to bring. So I'm going to take it to the bank on Friday, Lord willing. I'm going to take it to the bank tonight, Lord willing. I don't know when I'm going to take it to the bank. So we put it in undeposited funds. And so then when we want to do the deposit and we've made it to the deposit, we get to go to plus new, bank deposit. And there we go. Those are our transactions. Now we know these two right here, these are some different transactions that we don't have the deposits for those right now. That's something someone else took in, and they'll be able to do that, let's just suppose. But we know we just did these transactions right here. So we'll go in and we will click it. What some people do is they will ignore this because they didn't put it into undeposited funds. So they would end up just coming all the way down to the bottom and adding funds to this deposit. So received from, they'll put all that information back in, and it will bypass the undeposited funds, and it will make it a duplicate transaction. So what we're going to do is we're going to click everything. It gives us our total. It's at the top. It'll be at the bottom. Select the payment total. Sorry about that screen. We're just depositing $170. Oh, but what if, suppose we were on our way out the door and we did not do a sales receipt for someone. We just took some payment because we were on. Payment is salary. So as you can see, we have $170 here. These is exactly what we we'll take to the bank. Again, we're bypassing this area because we have our funds connected to the ones at the top. If we went straight down here, without clicking these up here, we would end up duplicating our payments in QuickBooks because these payments are already accounted for. Now, on the flip side, this is also a beautiful portion in QuickBooks, because suppose you were getting ready to run to the bank and someone came in, they needed to make a quick payment, and you did not get a chance to put it in QuickBooks, because if you took the time to do the sales receipt and do all that stuff, you would have missed getting to the bank before it closed. So you quickly run down here, say, okay, I have this as well. Let me go ahead and take this. I received something from Bill's Windsurf Shop, and that was, let's see, design income and the description. We can leave that blank for now. You grab this. You've already done this. You took this to the bank and you put it all in there, but you forgot to put it in QuickBooks. So you come back when you're making this deposit. You say, okay, and the payment method was cash. I'm going to go ahead and put that in there. So thankful that he came and he dropped that money off right before we got there. So now I'm coming here and I'm recording this deposit, and I get to just put this down here, and it'll just solve that problem. So now our new total is $220. We save and we close. And so now, looking at the difference between when you go to plus new, receive payment for the invoice, sales receipt for a payment that does not include an invoice. For example, someone comes with cash, a credit card that maybe they're not using in QuickBooks. Again, if you're using QuickBooks payments, this is all covered. But if they, use the payment, maybe like you have a credit card reader, pay with cash, check, anything like that will go under sales receipt unless there's already an invoice. And then at the end, you must go when they put the money into the bank. And this is something that you can train your client to do. They put the bank deposit in, they go to bank deposit, they click all those transactions. And as you can see, we didn't put any transactions for Cool Cars, Freeman Sporting Goods, or anything like that. So our total here is still $2,062.52, which will show up on our balance sheet. We go to reports, and I should have showed you the reports. As a matter of fact, I'll do that. So we're going to look at this balance sheet. As you can see in undeposited funds, we have $2,062.52. This is our red flag to let our clients know, hey, you have some funds that you've taken in, but you have not put them in your bank. So now we have a disconnect between your bank account and your money that you've taken in as far as revenue. So let's just suppose this is what it looks like, $2,062.52, and someone comes in, and we run to the bank rather. We know that Cool Cars has already made this payment, and Freeman Sporting Goods, Ocean View Road made the payment. Let's say that they actually made Visa payments, one Visa payment, one MasterCard payment. They made them. They finally cleared at the bank. So now we can go ahead and accept these. These are no longer undeposited funds. We're going to click them both. We're going to click them on the date that they cleared, which was actually yesterday. We saw that they cleared. We can go ahead and save and close there. And then we look at that balance sheet. Now we're at a zero balance. And that's the way it looks. So here we go. We're in QuickBooks, trying to help you avoid duplicated transactions, giving you the rundown of the received payment versus the sales receipt, and how that all connects with undeposited funds, and why QuickBooks has that famous or infamous undeposited funds, and how you can use it to benefit you and how you can train your client. So hope this helps. I hope you guys have a great day. Remember to keep your money safe, but more importantly, keep your soul safe. If you have any questions about that, you can check into the description of the video. You guys have a great day. Bye now.